Hello and welcome back, everyone, as Maryville University just took game 1 against DSG. Disguise still struggling early on in the spring split, although it's tough to even call it early on anymore. We're in week 4 now, Cubby. We said at the beginning, you're not hitting the panic button on this team. Does game 1 change that at all for you?
No, but I will say that I'm starting to see a couple common themes and I'm a little bit worried about with this team.
Okay.
I think that game, like, Perry and Poom, they don't win the jungle support duels. Like, Vi can kind of beat Jax early, but Jax, his job's to stymie things, and Not does beat out Malachi early. I think that the plays the DSG were making, they're all matched by Maryville, and Maryville just ended up slowly winning until they broke Disguise. So I think that's something I've seen in a couple games, like Perry and Poom not quite being on the same page, like not making the right moves as a tandem. And I know that that's two of the newer elements that haven't worked together yet, and I want to see that improve throughout the season, because I think that's really where Maryville beat them. They turned that bot 2v2 kill into a lot more throughout the rest of the map, and a lot of that was how Zyko and Spyrax and Yuji were able to move around the map.
And I want to hammer in the point that individually, this Disguise roster has a lot of potential. That's why a lot of people had them ranked high in power rankings coming into the split, but it does come down to the team cohesion. How do they play as a unit, not just individuals? Maryville playing like a unit, though. So let's talk about the team that just won here. They have been dropping a game each series that they've picked up. Now, when we talk about their losses, you highlighted the fact that sometimes they go a little too hyphy, maybe. But after that last game, it didn't really feel like there were moments like that. So this Maryville seems like they might be in their best form.
It was still like a 40-kill game, so they're still really pushing the pedal to the metal. But no, I mean, that was a controlled game for Maryville. And yeah, they do play fast. They're going to play bloody, but I think that they work as a team, and like I know I credited how Zyko, Yuji, and Spyrax moving around the map that game. And Niles too. I mean, he TP'd and was able to turn around a big play that Disguise just really overreached for. It gave Tenacity something, but it feels like with Disguise so far, if Tenacity's not the one to carry, I don't know. Like, I think I've seen Young have some okay games in moments, but like we haven't had Young 1v9 a game yet, right? It's been Tenacity that is the one that has really been the one that has gotten Disguise their victories. And I think that if Disguise want to have some more hopes this season, I hope that some other people can step up. Again, as you mentioned, I know that everyone in that team's talented. They've had success elsewhere, but just not working that as a unit. And I hope that we see that change as we move forward in the season.
Well, I want to highlight exactly what happened for Maryville early on in that game number 1, because it's something that I think was a concern for Disguise roster going forward as we look at the currently banned champions. Fearless Draft, so these are the champions picked in that last game, cannot be picked again by these individual teams. But the fact that Scary Jerry and Zyko got the 2v2 kill onto Manui and Poom. Now, Manui Poom is an interesting bot lane because Manui was mostly on Cincinnati Fear known for a unique champ pool, but playing weak side. Perry did not often go down there, and I feel like the meta right now might be hurting DSG because bot side's so important and impactful in this current meta.
Potentially, they did drop that 2v2, and that ended up being really harmful to DSG throughout. I don't know. I kind of just waiting to see more from this team. Again, I think that I've seen Tenacity carry an Olaf game and carry an Aurelia game, and that all looked really good, and I know Tenacity is very capable of that, right? But I think the rest of DSG, they got to figure out more ways to win. And if they don't do so, they're going to keep dropping games against good teams like Maryville. And then, like I said, I haven't hit the panic button yet, but eventually, like, this is a team that we had some expectations for, and you want to see them really step up and perform. So I know that a lot of Disguise fans will hope to do the same. And I think the league was a lot of fun last year when Disguise was good and winning. And I know that this crew can do the same, but yeah, they've got to figure it out sooner than later.
I think that the fans especially, I'm happy that you highlight that because this is a team that brings in a lot of folks checking out how the roster is performing. And hey, so far they did still pick up a win versus, or a series win versus Wildcard. They did get swept in their FlyQuest series and their TL series though. So let's see if they're able to bounce back here in game number 2. We're ready for pick and bans. Let's just hop right into it. You saw the Fearless bans. They're right here again. So DSG will not be able to pick the Darius, the Vi, the Corki, the Jhin, or the Maokai. Honestly, I think that might be a buff for them. You mentioned other champions that Tenacity can play. I wasn't convinced by the Corki play in this last one. I think trying something different could be good for DSG here.
Corki felt so much weaker than usual in this past game. It's really interesting, like, I mean, I literally, like, I queued up for games last night. Like, I told Rafa, like, I was like, dude, like, we got to play. Like, I cover live patch tomorrow. Like, I don't know what's going on, right? It's very different.
Where's my invite? What's this?
Oh, I mean, usually, like, I'm able to, like, ask coaches, be like, hey, like, what's up with the meta? Or, like, we saw the patch in solo queues. So, be like, okay, like, we see the data. Like, I don't know anymore. So, I'm kind of learning with the rest of you. And I definitely saw the impact of Corki in that last one. Yeah. Also, I think some of the impacts of Fearless Draft here. A lot of marksmen taken away, especially that Varus later on, as we have a second Smolder.
This wasn't taken away.
Challengers League.
So, Maryville ban away bot laners that are not the Dragon that we saw literally win a game when they were down 5,000 gold at 15 minutes. Let that sink in.
This champ is strong. Now, that was mid. We'll see if this is mid or bot. I know that people are really starting to play around with, you know, how strong it is mid. As we have the Lucian Milio being picked up by Scary Jerry and Zyko. I think they've been rather decent in playing out this lane. Scary Jerry loves to step forward when he can. Ooh. See if he's able to do so with this. I will say Ivern is a little bit more so of a pairing tailored toward a mid Smolder, and they are locking in this draft like they just took the top side.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
So we got a front line in Cassante. We have a jungler who is going to be able to buff up the Smolder, keep him safe with the shields, as well as dropping down bushes so it's harder for the enemy to attack him, as well as giant rock golem Daisy to run down anyone who's going to try and give Smolder a hard time. This feels like a Smolder draft so far.
And I do like this draft from DSG because we've been talking about Maryville. I mean, this is a very strong early game team, but it will take a lot of fights. And if those fights aren't executed cleanly, you can't scale into them. And who's better at neutralizing taking a lot of fights than Ivern, who presents so many weird timers on the Rift, just given how he takes camps. I mean, he's done this clear like pre-3 minutes, but it's a really weird route to get there. Ivern really shakes up a game compared to your standard league game from the jungle. And honestly, it's a good way to kind of absorb Lucian Milio too. I can see the theory for Ivern. I like this pick for DSG, and we'll see how they round things out.
Yeah, and we still don't know if the Smolder's going mid. It feels like hints are telling us that. Into the Azir, I think it would probably be fine. I mean, maybe Azir can give you some trouble with a range advantage, but it doesn't feel like something that Smolder would, like, hate laning against. So instead, they're going to ban away the Akali, which Azir does not like laning against.
That's true. So you can see Maryville prepping for a couple scenarios, kind of like a just in case if that happens. I'll be curious to see how they wrap things up. I will say that Blitzcrank is still available. That is something that in the Lucian Milio, I don't love it, but that's I think why they banned the Nautilus, to kind of at least deny that depth charge that's point and click. And I would not be surprised at all to see a Gnar coming out from Niles. This is a long time pick that Niles has been playing, and a reasonable matchup into Cassante. So not surprised to see this one.
Locked in there. I'm not always excited to see the Gnar just because it's very conditional when you can actually go for team fights, and so much of the game feels like it's going to come down to team fights. We haven't seen many other styles win in pro play, let alone the NACL, so it's going to come down to Nas. How well does he control the Rage Bar, and how well does DSG play around that Rage Bar? They're locking in Bard for themselves here as their support. Still holding this final pick till the very end, but it will be Smolder bot lane with the Bard and LeBlanc heading into the mid lane.
I'm a little bit concerned for the Smolder bot. I think that Smolder would have had a tough lane phase against Azir too, because like if you go Halo Blades, you can really bully him early on.
Yeah.
But there is so much control for Disguise this game around the terrain of fights, as we have a Kindred for Yuji that is paired up with the Milio. I want to give Maryville credit for this. I think that in Fearless Draft, something that I've been noticing is that you only get to pick a champ once, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, there are champs that pair together better than others, right? And they pair well. I think that Maryville, like, in Fearless Drafts, actually been getting a lot more mileage out of when and how they use champions. Like, they built a Viego comp where it was all upfront damage with resets. Or I saw them play, like, Maokai J's Ferris, right? There's a lot of poke and control with that core. This running the double Milio, like marksman or double marksman with Milio, what C9 was doing a lot last year with Blabber, this is great mileage out of Milio, and honestly gives Maryville kind of a backdoor win condition. I will say in fights, DSG still controls so much terrain of how and where they can take fights with the Bard, Ivern, and LeBlanc.
But I also love the Kindred ultimate because what does Smolder have but an execute once you get those full stacks, so can keep you alive a little bit longer in some of those fights. Cool drafting from Maryville. Will it be enough to sweep their first series and join FlyQuest Challengers up tied for first or will DSG have a chance to bounce back? Are we feeling a strong pull either direction? And why is that so? Where should we expect them to spike?
I think that Kindred actually really rounded things out well for Maryville with the Milio. I think that we need to keep our eyes early game on what happens, because Yuji, especially from the red side, he could start his top side camps and then invade bot and try to mess with Ivern.
Sure.
So I'm wondering if we see any sort of split map favoring bot lane for Maryville to really step up and punish this Smolder, because this Smolder Bard lane, this is going to lose. It is going to be down. The question is just how much.
Yeah.
So I think that Yuji has a real opportunity to try and punish bot.
But I will say, when I think of Manui's champ pool and what he's most known for, usually caster-focused bot laners as opposed to pure auto attack.
Skin, too.
Crazy attack speed. He does have the skin picked up. I love the wings, but otherwise, I prefer the original skin. But either way, everybody, we're getting treated. The first weekend that Smolder is enabled in competitive play, and we get 2 games of him here in the NACL. Manui picking him up, trying to recreate what Messages was able to accomplish on this champion earlier today. Let's see if they can do it and give Maryville a loss.
Young's going for a nice LeBlanc ward. As you can see, the distort over the wall, so Yuji doesn't know that he will be spotted on the red buff. That will be the case. I do want to highlight Manui going for like half the tech that we see from Smolders, which some of the tech we've been seeing to like get out of lane phase is the Comet. You can go Blue Tree and get access to Scorch. It feels really nice for the poke.
Kobe, I love that you're talking about that, but we got a dance party from top laners. I feel like we have to acknowledge that. Okay.
No.
These guys are old.
Yeah, Smolder's
What? Really?
My first ever cast was these two. It was back in 2020.
How old is Nasty? He's like...
I'm kidding, Steve. They're both younger than you, old man. And I get called old for
yeah.
I get called old for just having good taste in life, you know?
Well, okay, the reason you get called old is because despite being the youngest on the broadcast, you are definitely the grandpa of the broadcast. So
that's fine. I'll endorse that one. We are going to see bot lane. Level 2 will be really where the Smolder starts to, I'd say, struggle, get harassed. As level 1, you can see with the Bard, empowered auto attacks, and the Q is actually doing okay here.
Yeah, and already missing a couple of minions. You're trying to hit them with the abilities for the last hit. The W didn't land any. There we go. Gets 2 that time. It's usually like a mini game for other champions. Smolder's one of those champs that has that mini game, but we see the all-in now. Exhaust used. It's not an all-in. Scary Jerry just getting the summoner spell out of the opposition. Ghost popped, or rather heal popped on
Very
Manui
good.
as Ignite and heal goes down. Yeah. Flashing in. Good stun from Poom. But that summoner's on the dragon, so this Smolder's in danger.
It's, again, at level 2, this is where the Miliolution takes over, and this will not let up. It's going to be about surviving now for the bot lane of this guy, but that's okay. Ivern was able to prep his camps and actually denied the blue buff away from Yuji. So again, given that level 1, the ward from the Blanc, really nice of Perry to be able to get in and take one of the camps away. I think that's well played on the side of Perry in disguise.
Yeah, good macro, good jungle setup here as Yuji will not have the buff there. Spots it out. And Perry's going over to his buff, so no steal. Unless Yuji just runs straight towards that red, because Perry still has to prep them before he can actually take them as Smite. So does he just run down and try and guarantee it himself as mid laner's actually duking it out here. Now, important to note, Young took Electrocute. Probably not going to be the AD LeBlanc then. I think we actually will get an AP build.
We have been seeing a little bit more AP LeBlanc after a lot of the changes, and that's okay. This version of LeBlanc's a lot more fun for me to watch personally than the Shiv procs from Narnia when you just sort back.
Yeah. Okay, Yuji does get the scuttle. We'll look for an invade. There's nothing to take. But he drops a ward. Okay, so trying to spot out Perry. Won't see him, though, because Perry's going for a bag. Very efficient farming as Manui takes a lot of damage. What are you doing? Oh, no! Flaps in and gets Giga punished for it. Scary Jerry getting that first kill as now Poom going forward. Perry was sticking around here. Has the auto attack. Should get the kill trade. The shield from Zyko keeps Scary Jerry alive. And the bot lane from MU do not lose a member. They take down Smolder.
It's funny because I remember last year around this time, I was talking a lot about how much Manui had improved on Fear. From what I saw in the tryouts and what people were talking about to what I saw on stage, I feel the same exact way right now about Scary Jerry, man. This guy is a different beast this spring with Maryville. It's been really good to see. I know Scary Jerry always played with a lot of confidence, but now really seeing that pay off as he's stepping up, stepping forward, and man, he's been making some good plays. I mean, I think he had the option there to trade his life to get Bard and get a double kill too. Like, he nearly had that angle if he actually dashed in. And him and Zyko, this has been a standout for me in terms of expectations versus reality coming into the split. These guys have been fantastic bot.
Really solid performance. That's 2 games in a row now where they get first blood. This time to even absorb the gank, and because Perry spent all that time bot side, he's not around here for the top scuttle. That is a stack for the Kindred, but he is here to jump onto Spyrax. Flash is available. Oh, doesn't get stunned up by the Bard, but falls regardless. Young gets the kill credit.
Poom was trying to guess the flash just in case Spyrax did decide to burn it. He did not. Flash will be available, but Spyrax is down and Young gets ahead. Young is not the first game we've seen him on LeBlanc. I will say Young's a pretty damn good assassin player, and we'll see if the one remaining core member of that victorious DSG can... he has the kill, and he's going to have to help his team get to a game 3 against Maryville, as they are behind, and things will not get any prettier for a while in the bot lane.
Hear me out here, Cubby. This is the tinfoil hat. Manui is limit testing how broken Smolder actually is as a champion. Because if you can fall behind like this and then still win on the champ, you know, that's just proof.
I mean, I would love to add it to my thread where after that game, I went on Twitter. Sorry, X. I must say X. We are on a Riot broadcast.
Oh.
At CubbyXX. Anyway, I tweeted out a photo of like the 2 CS Ferris at 5:30.
Alarming amount of X's in that sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, continue.
It was... yeah, I got to tweet that out and be like, Smolder won this game. I'd love to tweet out the scoreboard of Smolder being down drastically and saying, like, Smolder won this game. We keep on sticking it to everyone in solo queue.
It gets funnier every time.
Don't play this champ. I'll dodge. You know?
Yeah, and like you had highlighted, it's not going to get easier for the Smolder. So despite the fact that it won its first game, it is still looking very strong. It is struggling here. Good chains from Young. Barry does not get the root onto him, and Spyrax is just fine here. But the bot lane trades are going to be very hard for Manui to absorb, as all out from Tenacity. Does he go for it? Oh, it doesn't get there. But a flash out of Niles.
That's a trade up in cooldowns. Ghost is back sooner, so it's nice for Tenacity to actually play off that.
Oh, Ignite is down. So is Exhaust. Manui should live. Yeah, one more take would have gotten him, but he does survive it. Not feeling great, though. I mean, still has to use heal, exhaust was used, and he's got to go for a back. But now Yuji invading. Young and Perry are nearby. Oh, no! The shovel doesn't land. Yuji goes down. Spyrax in trouble. Young. Oh, that was the real one. Spyrax might have been able to take him down, but he will instead prioritize his own life.
Not only did the shuffle not land, it's what actually procced the Bard Q on the back cap.
Oh,
so that's how the stun connected. Oh my god, that was crazy actually. Now Zyko, he's gonna get chased down. Ooh, well played from Poom on the Bard. Finding a couple big ones there. Again, Bard, you're not taking this for lane, you're taking it for utility and your ability to control the terrain of the fights. It's the real value of Bard and Poom. Making some really nice use of it in this game. I know game 1 I said Perry and Poom didn't do a good enough job of working together this game. Good to see them make some nice plays, get themselves back in this one. Again, DSG fighting back.
And it's looking like Young really is going to be that win condition for the team in this game. If they can just delay things, get Smolder those stacks, it is inevitable you'll get to that point. But having a LeBlanc that's fed feels really good to get there. And Young, the returning member from DSG's championship run last summer, stepping up to the plate here when his team needs a carry.
Well, I mean, this is something where DSG, they have a lot more scaling elements too. And as you tease, Kangas, you know, Maryville, their first 2 series, they have been 2-1. I think that Maryville, again, they're a team that's very much playing for the earlier stages of the game in terms of how they're drafting and playing. And this is one where DSG, I think, taking some of the scaling, you know, if you're able to really rebuke a couple of the early tries from Maryville, you could get yourself in a really nice position of the game. We'll see if that hits. As Perry's in trouble, he's going to have to
Perry's got flash. He has to use it, but he still goes down. Spyrax follows forward beautifully. Flash from Yuji traded, but that means they kill the Ivern. They can go for the grubs. Oh, just the one grub. All right. Singular grub.
Hey, man. Just because his friends are gone doesn't mean that he doesn't matter anymore, you know?
True. Here, Jerry dodges away from the binding coming out from Poom right there and is just fine. Yuji will also, I believe that was a stack if I saw it correctly. on that top scuttle. I'm wondering how many stacks he's at right now. Ooh, Temper Fate lands. Mom comes down, and Mom needs some time before she's ready to fight. She doesn't do too much right now, but she'll get there. Oh, Yuji doesn't get over the wall. As the Lamb's Despite, though, gets over this time. Does he live? Daisy's knockup was kind of scary. Young flashes forward to guarantee the kill. And now Spyrex thought he went back over the wall, did not expect the LeBlanc, but he's got the backup of Niles, so he says, wait a minute, we can turn this. Niles gets the kill credit.
That's nice. Also, I have to highlight yet again. I know that Smolder's a new champ because of how loud they made Mom. Mom's very loud in these games, King.
Okay, cool. No, but you love talking when the top laners are doing stuff, man.
You know what? I have faith in them. They're gonna fight to the death, but not quite break. You know?
Yeah. You weren't sweating at all right there.
I mean, I didn't see him use the E. I think he had the shield and the unstoppable. He's fine.
All right, well, Tenacity does get back. Doesn't have teleport to get back to lane, though, so this should be a couple of plates to Niles, as despite the fact that they gave over a few kills, despite the fact Young is 3-0, they are up in gold. Young hunting for a 4th kill, though, slowed by Niles. Niles dodges out the chains. Can he dodge this, though? Parry lands the root. Niles under turret. He goes down, shut down. Gold over to Young.
All right, that's a really fed LeBlanc now, and that could be a problem because LeBlanc, this game, nothing can stop this champ from taking over. If you look at the comp, there is no insta-CC outside of Meganar to deal with LeBlanc. So Young, with these Ivern shields, could do some disgusting things this game.
As UG will at least try and take away. He's also the one who can press ult to deny the LeBlanc. Exhaust under turret. Manui still goes down. Teleport from Young, though. How much can Young get done? Yuji does not have the Lamb's Despite, as it was used earlier in the Herald Pit, trying to trade his life for Poom, but cannot. Young now, 5-1 on the LeBlanc.
I mean, he did save his team by sending it to the inner turret, but yeah, this LeBlanc's gonna be a bit scary. And LeBlanc is definitely a champion, Kangas, where if you do get ahead, your ability to snowball is pretty good. That's a Luden's Companion done before 12 minutes on LeBlanc. That's gonna be tough.
Spyrex is at least doing a good job of shoving these waves in while Young's on the roam, so the CS is falling a little behind, but I would still say Young's feeling great about where he is on the LeBlanc power curve right now, and as you had just highlighted a moment before, not great answers to the LeBlanc, so this game really is turning into the Young show for DSG as backs are against the wall.
Niles taking another point against Tenacity, just in his face as he's gonna get yoinked in. Wasn't able to go unstoppable for that one, but Young's here.
Young is everywhere on the map. Literally, every moment DSG have found an angle, found a play. It's down to Young, but this time he doesn't find it. Niles had flash, he gets away, and the team gets dragging for that. So the first time we see Young go somewhere and doesn't actually get rewarded for it. Oh, Temper Fate almost lands on the Spyrex, has to flash away, as now we're still diving in onto Niles. Tenacity this time getting the kill. Young helping him out. I spoke too soon. They just committed longer.
You know, I did say our top laners do like to fight to the death, and Niles just had to prove the caster right in that one, right?
He wasn't dead yet.
That's
so
not. It's not a caster curse. That's a player blessing because he proved me right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah. We got to add that to the repertoire now.
Yeah.
As the Grub's also helping out Tenacity get these turret plates. He will cash in a few for himself and back, hopefully picking up his first item of the game off of this Manui. Meanwhile, slowed down. Oh, Spyrex. I don't know if he saw a lot of where the enemy was. Maybe worried that an Ivern's behind him. Ooh, speaking of being worried here, Scary Jerry flashes away. Again, Young and Tenacity, the solo laners from DSG, are just grouping up and being terrors on the map right now. No answers yet for MU.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about in the pregame, you know, we haven't seen a lot of these. Hold on.
On comes down, Spyrex throws out the Shurima, the Emperor's Divide. Manui still alive, still has flash available. Young joins in, gets some poke onto Spyrex right there, but cannot claim the kill.
I'm going to go back real quick, though. I was saying before the game, you know, the wins that we've seen out of this, guys, have really been Tenacity stepping up and being the big carry. I think Tenacity is doing great work in this one, and I know that Young has everything on his shoulders. Fantastic. But it's good to see the members around Young, like, stepping up and supporting him, too. I think that Perry and Poom have had really nice games, and that's kind of what's helped enable Young to pick up a lot of these kills where it kind of feels like, oh, Young just so happens to be 6-1-1. It's not like Young solo killed Spyrax a million times. It's just Young has been moving around the map with his team and has been supporting them in the plays they've been looking at and creating. And that's really, really good to see. It's one I want to see more of out of the skies, and glad we're getting a glimpse of that in this game.
And the fact that he's getting rewarded for it, because if you're roaming and not finding much, and the Azir's getting this far ahead in CS, that's a little concerning. But we're not concerned, because the LeBlanc has cashed in on multiple kills, and actually has a 200 gold bounty under his head. Yuji was focused on the Herald earlier because of that play mid. He actually backed off of it, but now he's back onto the objective and should claim it no contest.
I am ever so slightly concerned because, yes, Young does have all the kills on his shoulders, but it is a 2k gold lead.
Oh. Niles just missing the ultimate barely. Spyrax joins in here. Will we see a collapse? Young should be able to get out just fine. Has the Bard portal as well. And Tempered Fate lands only on the Zyko. Do we want to continue? Spyrax jumps in there. Does not have the Emperor's Divide. So Azir just goes into his death. Will trade one as they claim Boom, but I'd say that's value for DSG. Manui on the board gets the shutdown kill. I don't think Spyrax had Emperor's Divide. I looked at the cooldown. Yeah. I think it came out in the play.
He was operating like he had it. You were correct, though. He did not. And that, I mean, I guess we just don't ever get to talk in this series, Kangas.
It's not.
Bloodbaths all the time. Can't prep anything. Gonna keep on going. Tenacity will be gifted this top outer. As I was gonna say beforehand, the one concern I had is that, yes, Young's this bad, but the CS numbers are very much in favor of Maryville, and they still had a gold lead. They were up about 2.2k coming in, but back half of this play.
Yeah, you see it on the replay. No ultimate available for Spyrax. Jumps in there.
Shuffle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he just thought he did or just didn't expect that many people to be there. Also, they're low health bar, so maybe you're just thinking I can actually get onto them and stick onto them, but none of those things happened, and Spyrax pays the price. Manui gets the shutdown gold, and you don't want to give Smolder the kills, the gold. I know you put him behind great early, but he will scale.
I mean, I guess this champ's just V1.
Yeah, why not?
I guess we just have to ban this champ now. You know, I'm not harp upon solo queue and just like, you know, make a self-fulfilling point. It's very tempting to continue to bash on the people who are like, oh, if you played the new champ, I dodge, you know. But I think I'll be done with it after that.
I give you permission for this game because Smolder's in it, but then afterwards, you know, it gets a little much. Niles goes into Mega, can't get onto anybody though. As everyone's grouping up for the Dragon Spawn in 20 seconds here. Can we get a Smolder?
No, this is okay for MU. They're gonna catch mid-high. They did drop the Azir turret. Niles still has Mega. He could look.
Oh.
He can easily get out of this one, but at least they got the fast track to mid, and this guys are forced to play Dragon through bot. Young's catching mid right now, so MU have a slight
This isn't supposed to be Ocean Soul. What are these bushes doing here? Zyko walks into him. Takes a lot of damage from the mom call as DSG are now onto the Dragon themselves. They are trying to deny the stack from Maryville. And now they're taking the fight over here on the side. Young jumping forward. Niles goes in, hops in. Spyrax still alive as Tenacity was threatening him. Scary Jerry now joining, reinforcing Niles. Big engage from Maryville top laner will claim 2 as Spyrax gets the credit for the kills. Double kill over to the Azir and DSG in full retreat.
I mean, that was massive from Niles. I know that he was put in the Tempered Fate, but he was actually able to keep on building up the Mega Bar while he was in there. Comes out, gets a huge Mega Gnar into a 3-man wallop that stymies everyone in the fight. DSG, both carries fall, and MU take that fight easily.
Well done from MU. Well done from the top laner here. What a setup as we get a look at the replay.
And this is a great chunk on the Zyko. You're looking at DSG, the health bars, positioning, it's all good. Young's trying to wrap around and get something done. I don't think DSG have to play this one out that fast. I think they can just kind of wait. Young sacks most of his life. Yeah, but he does, but he sacks most of his life. Then look at this. Mega Gnar, it's still ticking up. He pops it immediately. Flash, big Mega Gnar, finds 2, finds 3 with a wall. Great follow-up from Niles. Again, we teased that his Gnar. It's always been good. Great to see Niles continue to perform. He was coaching Maryville this past fall. He's able to play. He's getting his graduate there in spring. He's in the lineup, and he's already making a big impact.
And now the team's 3,500 gold ahead with Dragon Soul point. 4 minutes and they get that Dragon Soul. That is very solid for them. Young trying to run away here from Yuji. There's that Melio combo you're talking about. Young jumps back in, thinks that he can take down Psycho. Woo! All right, Young does trade his life for it, but pretty fancy footwork.
That was cool. It ends up not being worth it, but that was cool. You know,
it was very cool, and we give points for cool here, Cubby.
We do. That's called caster bias, but you know.
Yeah, you know what's not cool though? Niles getting caught in the side lane for Maryville. He's gonna wish he hadn't done that. Boom picks up the credit. Good punish. Tenacity keeping Niles locked in there, buying the time for the Bard to roam.
I mean, this game is just this game is crazy, man.
This is ridiculous.
I watched Immortals pick Ivern and play a 0-1 game 30 minutes in, but here in Challengers, you pick Ivern, and it's 1 kill a minute guaranteed, guys.
We got Ivern and Smolder.
Superior League.
Ivern and Smolder. And this team, with Ivern and Smolder, has 11 kills at 20 minutes.
It's kind of crazy. I do want to say, too, I know Manui is working towards a second item that is not Navori. Looking to be potential...
Rapid fire, I guess?
Well, there's a longsword in there now. Which makes me think we might get a PD. Which, if you do math, PD is very good. But it's hard to get in range to always use PD.
And do we trust the math skills of DSG? Oh, do we trust that they can get out of this one? Spyrax with a shuffle! Onto 3! The setup from the team and the slam dunk from the mid laner. Double kill to Scary Jerry. Maryville just crushed DSG in the mid lane.
I mean, Young was just picked. He's the strong one. He's off the map. He's coming out of base. They're past mid with him and his TP still being off. DSG, it feels like they just aren't making good plays, man. Like, you can't be there. You got to be patient. You have to wait for the advantage that you have to take. And in all the chaos, I mean, this is the game that Maryville's been playing. They're comfortable. They have a 7K gold lead. I know they don't have any CC for the Blanc, but they do have a Lamb's fight. And Young died twice. He's fallen behind. Now he's got to burn his flash.
Flash out of Young, too. It does not stop. When it rains, it pours for DSG. Maryville University, get the kills, get the fight, get the Baron, get the top tier 2, and get out scotch-free.
I mean, Young, he's facing. He does not have TP available right now. DSG are past the halfway mark. Spyrax gets a massive TP in behind everyone, and it's just not a fair fight. DSG don't have to put themselves in this position. This is an unforced error when you're Ivern. You want them to play into you. It's really a bummer seeing this team, like, again, high expectations for DSG, and them making mistakes like that, it's a bit frustrating. It just feels like everyone's trying to make their own plays in the game, trying to save things, and they aren't making succinct plays, the ones they need to make to actually get ahead in this one.
Yeah, I got to go back to the team synergy that we were talking about before. DSG still not looking like they have it. Maryville, they got that in spades, prepping the play, teleporting in Spyrax to follow up from the team. Now Manui's just getting ran down by Uji. Lamb's Bite's available. He pops it in time. The Kindred is still alive. He can just hop over this wall, or the team's going in. Spyrax with the shovel. Tenacity buffers it, as now Spyrax might be in trouble. Doesn't have the flash available anymore, but he's got the team behind him. He's doing massive damage. Oh my goodness! How is this man still alive? DSG just can't get onto the Azir, and they're going to lose their middle inhibitor for it. Maryville don't lose anything.
I'll tell you how that campfire was hella cozy, and Maryville is still feeling cozy in this one, up 10K gold. They have an Ocean Soul to boot that has spawned. It will be all theirs, and Maryville looking to cruise to their first 2-0 against Disguised.
One correction, Hextech Soul. I would argue that's even better, though. They could just keep chasing it down here as the stun into the wall. DSG are taking one fight. This could be the last one that they get as Young dashes back. They're on to Niles, but they just can't kill him. And now the Dragon Soul secure. Niles jumps in there. He's about to hit Mega. He dies before the Mega goes off. That is something for DSG as Gary almost falls to the Hextech damage.
That's when you type in all chat worth and you ping that your team got Soul. Absolutely.
Oh, I thought you were going to say for DSG, saying we got Niles.
Nope.
Yes.
No, that's for Niles. We got Soul.
Oh!
Gary Jerry got Bard.
Yeah, speaking of worth there, I think you'll take the free kill into the support. DSG in shambles, their base crumbling around them as Maryville University with the Baron still in their pocket will continue the siege here. 3 members of DSG up. I don't know if Maryville want to look for the game end right here. They do have super minions, and they do still have Baron for a little bit longer. They will not continue the siege. They're backing off the reset and spending all that juicy gold.
I mean, I can't give enough praise to Maryville, too. And I know that at least for UG and Spyrax, there are a couple things that are personal this year with Maryville. One of which would definitely be taking down FlyQuest Challengers for the 2 of these guys. But also, I think on the road there, taking down DSG that does feature 2 members of Cincinnati Fear, knocked them out in both spring and summer last year.
We're finding Barry again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Poom falls too. Keep it going, Cubby. This feels like the victory lap for MU.
Not just that, but also like that FlyQuest team, they did lose to Disguised, right? That put them in the lower bracket and lost to Young. So I know for UG and Spyrax, I'm sure for them picking up kills against some familiar faces this season feels extra good as they're the ones that cut their season short and now cut this
and the mom comes
short.
down. I don't even think that Smolder at 186 stacks, not even close to finishing it up. MU just blitzed their way through DSG and closed this game out clearly, cleanly, swiftly, as it is a 2-0, their first sweep of the spring splits. Nasty's trying to make something happen here at the very tail end of it. Boom's buying space. They have Manui doing damage, but it's just not enough from the Smolder, and they can't even win the fight. Maryville University, the collegiate squad, get their first 2-0 of the spring.
Adding the KDAs at the end too, man. I gotta say, they didn't drop a dragon in that series. Like Maryville, they're doing so many good things right now, and a lot of it, it's starting with that bot lane. I know that UG and Spyrax are damn good players, right? We've had these guys in the conversation for most valuable prospect. They've done well in Challengers League, but to see Scary Jerry and Zyko go from a bot lane that was part of the reason why they were borderline, relegated, to now being a bot lane that's a big part of the reason why they are 3-0 and do that within a 6-month span. It's been great to see them grow and perform, and I'm excited to see more now, which I didn't say last year very often about Scary Jerry and Zyko and their gameplay. I am excited to see them continue to play because we have seen so many good things out of these guys early on in the season.
And I can't wait to hear from them as well because they keep the win streak going forward. Mark your calendars, everybody. I just checked. Week 6 is when Maryville faces FlyQuest Challengers. Can they both remain undefeated before that moment? But first, it's about week 4. Let's send it to a short break before we're back and chat with one of the players from Maryville. We'll see you there.
Introducing the new Footlong Sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious Footlong Cookie, Footlong Pretzel, or Footlong Churro.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, as we have the victorious jungler from Maryville University, and should I say, undefeated in series jungler, UG. Congratulations, UG. Hell of a series you just had, and this is your first 2-0. How prepared did you feel going into the match? Because it felt like you had their number the whole time.
Yeah, I think we were pretty well prepared. I mean, we scrimmed, and I think our scrims went well. And I think we got the picks we wanted, so it was pretty good.
Now, speaking of picks that you wanted, you're one of the few junglers that's actually playing Jax. I'm seeing this pick a lot in EU, especially as an answer to Xin. You put it into Vi. What do you like about this pick? Do you feel like it's being underplayed or underutilized at the moment? Like, what's good about it for you?
I definitely think it's like underpicked, but I think Jax is a jungler that scales very well, and this spike's very good at one item, so it's also counter like Y and Xin. And if you see their comp, and you can just always like pick it, I think it's a pretty good champ.
Well, champ pool aside, I mean, we've always been happy watching your champ pool. It's very exciting. But I'm curious, because this is my first time talking with you since you've gotten to Maryville University. Talk to me about the journey. You know, what made you want to go check out the collegiate side of things, and how's your time been so far at Maryville?
Well, I mean, after practice, I just wanted to like go back to school. So I'm just at Maryville. I think Maryville is the best place you could go to if you're trying to play League. And it's pretty nice. It's kind of similar to like being pro, I guess. Because you just play games, but you have to like go to classes. And you also have to like do the homeworks as well, so it's kind of annoying, but it's pretty nice there.
Do you mind me asking, what's your major? What are you going for? Do you know yet?
It's comp sci.
Comp sci, okay, fair enough.
What's been the annoying homework so far? Like, what is like anything like really getting to you class-wise?
So I'm taking like general psychology class. I mean, I'm not like very interested in psychology, so it's kind of like boring.
Just one of the electives.
I remember I went to a school that was liberal arts as well, and I was sitting in a nutrition course that I didn't need, and I was looking up like Jin being released. That kind of shows my age, but I was like, why am I here? I dropped that class.
Yeah. Well, we won't ask you how much you've been slacking in your classes, though. Don't worry.
No, hey, hopefully grades are good. You know, MU, they released their GPA. It was very high. I know Psycho was a part of that as well. What's it been like, though, still being in an environment, UG, where you guys are all playing together? I know that not every team we have in the league is like that this year. You were like that this past year. What's it like, you know, being in that big arena that you guys have with all the teams competing?
Oh, it definitely feels pretty nice. I mean, the Fearless Draft is, I think, very nice to play. So you don't have to like play the same champ over and over again. Yeah, I think it just feels pretty nice.
It's a fun format, and I'm happy you bring that up because I am curious about your thoughts. I asked Cubby earlier. But last spring, we had more teams competing in the NACL, but it was best of twos and no Fearless Draft. There were 130 unique picks locked in. Do you think we're going to have more or less in this spring split?
I guess, I mean, it has to be more because, I mean, there's new smaller champ, and, I mean, it should be more, yeah.
All right, there we go. We have more. Cubby thought less. Cubby wasn't a believer.
Yeah, I'm still thinking less. I think that it's encouraging some handshakes, some games, but we'll see.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, what's been your favorite part of the split so far, UG, since we got you for one more question here?
Everything. I guess it's just winning, I guess. I mean, I thought we would be bad at first, but I guess we're just good now, so it feels pretty nice to win.
I guess we're just good. I love that. Yeah. Hey, want to give you the floor before we let you go, though. Any other thank you, shouts, or anything else you'd like to say?
I guess shout out to the people who are watching and all the people in like esports, I guess, at Maryville. Yeah.
Shout out to everybody behind the scenes. Shout out to you, UG, for coming on and chatting with us. Thank you so much, and congratulations on the win. With that said, we're going to send it to a short break before we're back for our final series of the day. We'll see you there.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long. Or a churro, and probably not a pretzel either. They also said, under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. To which we said, but we already made them. And they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.
I think TLC will win. We'll have no issues at all.
Probably FlyQuest. I hold a lot of respect for like
a lot of their players, so probably the favorite to win.
Can I say myself? Yeah, I think FlyQuest is the favorite to win the split.
Area of Effect Gaming. I think they're individually just so cracked that it doesn't matter who they're up against.
Well, that would be my team, because it's my team. I mean, who roots against themselves, you know? Us or FlyQuest, because I think we're the best two teams.
I'd say it's probably FlyQuest, I mean, or ourselves. I mean, I can't ever count myself out.
Yumi?
Yumi?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'll just say Yumi.
That champ just like is useless, and then whenever the champ is useful, like the game kind of sucks, you know?
The community will have my back on that one. So yeah, just Yumi.
Well, this is embarrassing.
I think it's Zoe. She's just the mid lane champ that wins jungle matchups, and I also don't even really want it on my team, so I just say Zoe.
Zed. I hate Zed. They just farm with Q from far, and then they think they're good when they press R. I think like if you're a Zed OTP and you can play Zed and you like have like the basic combos down, it shoots you up like a whole tier at least.
I think I'd choose Zeri. Kind of like the peak of Zeri Yumi meta, and like Zeri Lulu meta was kind of the bane of every top laner.
I want to dunk on Shochi. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a good laner, and I want to dunk on him.
All of them. All of them, but in particular, every support player that exists, hands down. Just pick one.
Quad. So badly. So badly, actually. This guy has 87 LCK games. He just dropped 2 nukes in his most recent game. So if I can drop a nuke on that guy, then it's gonna look good for me.
Messages, unlit, give him a little reality check.
I'll just choose Dragoon. I mean, we're the two like Darius players and ACL, and there's only space for one, I guess. I'll just say that.
I just want to be AoE, because I think I'm friends with a lot of them, and it would just feel good, yeah.